Hello, hello, and welcome to Wheel of Games. This is my first foray into video game recording. So today I'd like to start by just introducing Shadows of Doubt. So this is a detective noir game where you investigate different types of crimes, the most prominent being murder crimes, but it can also be things like theft or other private investigator style jobs. The game is set in a alternate history, I think 1979, but it's in a sort of Blade Runner-y uh, noir cyberpunk kind of city setting. So we'll get into it in a moment. This is still an early access game. It definitely has some rough edges still, but I've found enough that I really like about this that I wanted to share it. I've played a good amount of it before, but that was on an older version, and so I don't know everything that's changed. I'll probably have to relearn a bunch of things. And to that end, I'm going to go through the tutorial again. So the tutorial is a very nicely handcrafted sort of starter mystery that you can play in a pre-generated city, so that it's a small scale, a lot easier to handle, and a lot more straightforward than some of the cases that I ran into when I was playing before. But I'll go through everything one step at a time, and I think it's time to start a new game. So, a specially crafted case, I strongly would recommend it. It definitely introduces a lot of information that you need to be able to play the game, but there's also a ton of different tools you can use to identify culprits or just investigate crimes that are not covered in the tutorial at all. So I'll be making use of those as I discover them. I'm sure I don't know everything. Okay, that's a nice randomly generated name and game difficulty. I think this just determines how many clues you get to start with, but after we go through the tutorial, I'm going to generate a sandbox city and play through that way. So, just start with the tutorial. One of the things about this game is it has really long load times. In a sense, it saves sort of the changes, but every time you load, it's like it's regenerating the city with the things that you've changed sort of added into the place. So it's definitely a game where you don't want to do like save scumming, like a quick save, quick load, because the quick load is not quick. It's really better to just let yourself get knocked out and go to the hospital than continuously quick loading, unless something really important happened. Yes, we would like to enable the tutorial text. And I've got a really good system, but this is the only spot where it really will stutter a bit, is during these wide pans. So, it's the late 20th century. Hyper-industrialization has swept the planet. The old Bourbon Empire has crumbled, giving way to the United Atlantic States and the first elected mega-corporation president in history, Starch Cola. As sea levels rise, cities have become polluted islands. This is the excuse for having a finite area for you to walk around in. Workers dream of escaping to the fields, an exclusive retirement district few will ever see. That's essentially like the end game goal they've got for the moment. Rival corporations vie for power, policed by the privatized Starch Cola enforcers. So we've got corporate police. But game looks pretty good. Some say justice now only exists in the shadows. Shadows of doubt. Okay. 303 Gomez House, starting in our apartment. The time is the dead of night. Okay. About 1:30 a.m. And the tutorial is really nice because it gives you some starting instructions. Awake again. So cold. turn on the bedside light. So it shows you how to interact with things and how loud that action will be. Turning on the lamp makes a little bit of noise, important when you're sneaking around. No use just lying here. So to get up out of the bed, and it's telling us how, at least what my commands are for moving around. We do have a flashlight. So it's telling us to turn on all of the lights. All the lights. Okay. So thankfully most things, you've got very nice tooltips for what you can interact with. If you see on the bottom, there's 4 little symbols. If I hit a key, I can sort of cycle through staring at different ones, which can be really nice if you've got something that's just hard to get the pointer on. We've got a computer called a microcruncher in this game. And we've even got a safe. Okay. Oh, there's something on our bedside table. Uh-oh, final notice. Well, we can't actually inspect it, but it looks like we're behind on our bills. And we'll be doing a lot of inspecting drawers in this game, but one more document. Western District Special Police Service Commendation awarded to us for outstanding investigative duties and a fine clearance rate, while assigned to the Homicide Department. So we are a former homicide detective, but we're now a private investigator. We appear to have left the force, since now there's only the corporate starch enforcers. So no more homicide department for us to work for. Let's see, that's nice. It actually, any light switches when you're in the dark, they flash, so it's a lot easier to find them in case you need to turn on the lights. Here's a phone. Let's see, one more light switch to turn on. Again, it's flashing, makes it easier to see. Okay, first objective's complete. And we can actually look out our window. Okay, let's answer the telephone. Hello? Who is this? Nobody there. Search the apartment for clues, eh? So the game got tired of me just looking around, and it's specifically telling me, hey, somebody slipped a note under the front door, so let's go take a look at that. Inspect. You can see here's an example of a bug that would need to be fixed. There was that whole crouch instruction there that was like a placeholder text thing. There's a couple of spaces. There's another one. Tab resume. Maybe it doesn't like that I've assigned that control, but very rarely do any of those things actually interfere with playability. So the case board. This is one of the things that really drew me into this game, was the ability to figure out evidence on your own and make your own sort of investigations and connecting clues and all the likes of that. So it's telling us we can make string connections between all the different pieces of evidence. So our first piece of evidence, we have been instructed to find Onni Jonsson. So anytime we've got one of these little information boards, we can pin it to our case board using the little red pin. And as it was demonstrating, you can make connections, and you can even find this person. Make your own messages, helpful reminders for yourself for when you hover over it. Oh, okay, so this is job number 1 in the tutorial. We must find Onni Jonsson. Now if we look at this profile is 4% complete. All we've got right now is a name, but there's a lot of information about this person that we could pick up over time, like fingerprint, what they look like, so photo, if we know what their voice sounds like, or other demographic information that we can fill in as we learn more information about this person. So all we know right now is we need to find that name. Onni Jonsson? Never heard of him. If this is a job, it's a lousy way to do business. Oh. And yep, former Officers Welfare Association. We are definitely a down on our luck detective. But the game is telling us about the city directory. So we'll follow its instructions for now. Oh, the cuckoo clock. Yep, it just hit 2 in-game, so the cuckoo clock actually went off. It's cute. Okay, let's inspect the city directory. So, we're looking for Onni. Every person in the city, along with, I believe, businesses, will all show up in here, and you can find their location, and I was thinking phone number. This isn't giving me a phone number. Maybe if I go to Onni. See, there's 3 different A. Joneses, and it's not telling me, like, what the first name is, so it's not a perfect system, but at least Onni has a unique last name in this city. So we know he lives at 802 Rose Building. So it didn't give us a phone number, but we know... Oops. I'd better go prepared. I want to link that. So this is his official residence, his 802 Rose Building. So we should go find him. But first, we need to get our old police stuff. But it's locked. So we need lockpicks. So there are a couple of things that make uses you can use as makeshift lockpicks, one of which are these hairpins. Noticed that one earlier, but now it's important. So you can just pick up hairpins anywhere in the world. Oh, there's another one. Also paper clips. So you want to pick these up whenever you see them, because they do not add, like, there's no encumbrance system of weight. Just get as many lockpicks as you can. So you can literally pick locks, but you can also use it to sabotage security systems. Let's see. I think paperclip. Now I've got 3. So let's go back to that lock we need to pick. Interact with the padlock, it says. So yeah, specifically the lock, not the storage box. That's why that whole selector system can help you if you're not finding the thing you really need to interact with. So you see these bars? Each one indicates how long it's going to take to pick that particular portion of the lock. So sometimes, like if a camera's going back and forth and watching you, you need to pick part of the lock, then wait for it to look away again and finish picking the lock. Little things like that. So our detective stuff. Okay, so now we've got our menu. I've got that set to T, and it opens up your inventory. So with the inventory, there's 2 rows. The top row are basically your standard tools, and it doesn't take up any space. The bottom row is things that actually take up space, things you can pick up or drop. I'll go over what these are a little bit better in a second, as soon as it lets me through. Okay. So, you saw me pick up the watch earlier to see what time it is. That can also potentially let you skip to certain times of day. To unequip anything is number 1. Number 2 brings up your fists. So there's also apparently a counter mechanic if you wind up in a fist fight. I have found that system very difficult. Hello, Felix. He wants to say hi. There goes his tail. Okay, so punching with the fists. I'd recommend staying out of fights as much as you possibly can. They're pretty tough, and I never figured out how to work the counter system. Maybe they've improved that. So 3 is the watch. Number 4 is the fingerprint scanner. So all sorts of things will have fingerprints. I guess this is my fingerprint, type A. Not sure what else would have been in here. But you'll find fingerprints on all sorts of things. There's one. They look like those little wavy bits, and you'll find them on all sorts of stuff. So very useful for proving that somebody was at the scene of the crime, for example. You can throw a coin to distract people. I never was really good at this. I'm going to try to get a better handle on using the coins. Each coin is literally one of the currency is called crowns. So each coin that you throw will take one out of here. Ah, yes, and the handcuffs. I can assign my own number to that. It brings them out, and you can use those to perform a citizen's arrest. So handcuffs, they do cost money for you to obtain. They're not terribly expensive. Approach someone from behind, and you can handcuff them, which will immobilize them. They are slightly more cooperative, this, at least the tutorial is saying. And if you don't implicate them in a crime, in a couple of hours they get released. So there isn't really a big penalty for using handcuffs, other than that person's really not going to like you. I think if you're like in a public place, maybe their coworkers would not like you if you just start handcuffing somebody. But it is still quite effective at getting people under control. So keys. There's the key for our apartment. And yeah, you specifically have to unlock the door handle. So we unlocked it, open the door, and close it again. So relock it. There are these nice elevators in the middle of each building. Oh. Return to apartment. Did I skip something? Whoa. Oh, okay, it's... Right, I'm sorry, I will follow your instructions. It's telling me to use the map and to plot a course to somewhere. So on any location screen, you can open it on the map and you can plot a route there. The auto-plotting does work quite nice. I was going to leave the building and then plot the route, but let's follow the guide. Now I've got to unlock it again because it teleported me back. Relock it. It didn't tell me to turn all my lights off, but there's no electricity bills here. Yep. So the floor arrangement is non-American style. Because I'm on floor 3, there's actually... The ground floor is the one that's street level, and then 1, 2, 3. So, by American measurements, I would have been on the 4th floor. Super dark in here. Those lights are turning on for me. Now, you can see the destination way off over there. Okay, and we're outside. Let's start running because it's raining. There's lots of stuff going on outside on the streets, but we are now wet because we are in the rain. There's a few other things that can do status effects. They've all got their own list of what they do for you, or to you. In the case of wet, if you're going on like a slippery floor, I believe you can slip and fall down. It didn't do it to me right there, but they have different levels of like intensity, so I only got a little bit wet because I ran. So right click to operate, and I'm going for floor 2. Yep, you can just do the running. The tallest building that I saw when I played before was like floor 18. So these buildings can get pretty tall, and this one looks like it's just that tall because I'm already on floor 8, and it's a much taller building than what we can see. So, let's see. Should be able to close the door. Okay, so 802 Rose Building. We are here. So it should pop it up. Okay. You have to try to open the door to know if it's locked. It did not open, so now we know it is locked. Uh-oh, there's a camera. Yep, locked. Knock on the door. Knocking is a loud action. Yep, it's reminding you to check for cameras. I'll show you what it looks like when you do bad stuff on the camera in a second. You can also go to security system boxes, and if you're lucky, like in the tutorial they make you lucky, you can find keys under the map. There are ventilation systems. So far, I find them unreliable, and of course, people don't like it when you break into their house. But you can break your way in. So I'm going to make the camera angry for a second, just to show what it looks like. See, that little eyeball thing in the middle showed that somebody or something did not like what I was doing. So I could just go piece by piece. I could follow... Oh, that would just set off the alarm, but if I followed the red, that goes to a box. So I could pick this lock, and I could use that to close the security shutters for the floor. That can come down and seal off the floor. Or I could turn off all cameras or all lights on this floor. Let's see. I'm going to... Oh, I was thinking I could turn off the camera, but it looks like I'm too short. Ah, maybe I can use this box. Because you can stack things up, and it is physics-based. So if I stand on the box... Am I on the box? Oh, yep, sabotage. So I can use those lockpicks to turn the camera off at the source rather than going to the main breaker box. So that's a good example of using the environment, and now this camera is off. So now I can really pick the rest of this lock. Let's see, the last thing it was trying to demonstrate was that you can bust down a door. I'll try to show that. So if you're sprinting, then the... Yes, I'll get to this in a moment. Always have a plan for getting out. So if you're sprinting, you can see it changes to barge, and that's the knock the door down action. I think because I already opened it up, unlocked it, it came off in one hit, but sometimes it'll take multiple hits. So, lots of information. He's got his own phone. Let's see. Okay, keep going. A bit longer. Oh, that was the rainstorm outside. Oh, there's another camera inside. Thankfully, that one's already off. So it's look around for vents for a quick exit. I guess I'll get time to investigate a little bit after. Uh-oh. Well, he gave me the my god before I've actually seen the body. Oh, no, there's the body. I have found Onni Jonsson. But can I find the light? Ah, there it is. Right, that's an example of one where I might have to go through a bunch of inspect things to get to the light. Suppose I could just grab the microwave and move it out of the way, maybe. Okay, so investigation phase. Yes, look around for events for a potential quick exit. Because it's the tutorial, it's going to make sure that you need a quick exit. So, we have found one, and to enter it, you can see the little pop-up controls. As long as you're close enough to it, you can just enter and it'll just take you right into it. Same thing for getting back out. So we have our escape route. There's also some blood in there, but more blood in here. So right now, we have no idea who this is, but we have some options for inspecting the body. So first, literally inspect the body. Now we've got a face. Although we do not yet know who this is. This may not be Onni, but we have found this body at 802 Rose. What, you didn't like my string? Well, I guess it's hinting very strongly that this is Onni, so it's not letting me make another connection to it. So now we'll take this person's fingerprint. So we have added more to the citizen profile here. So now this person, their fingerprint is type B. I guess our own back from our apartment was A, so each new unique fingerprint you find will show up as a new unique fingerprint. So now if we hold, I've got it mapped to F, you will search the body. So this person was shot by low caliber ammunition. We'll just link these to the body. And, okay, they were shot to death with a pistol or revolver between 1 and 2:15, so right about the time we started the game. And it was this night in 1979. So we've got a time of death. Entry wound also. Okay, let me make that link. So we still don't know who, but there's more information we can find around here. Looks like this person had glasses. But now we know that Onni Jonsson works as an office manager. The wallet is a very good spot. So now we have linked that face with the name Onni Jonsson. And you can see that the information has been merged. Oh. Yep, it's telling us about the fingerprints and the fingerprint scanner. We'll use that in just a moment. But fingerprints prove that somebody was somewhere. So we can steal the key for this apartment. And We can also steal money from his wallet. Now you can make a lot of money by stealing stealing things and either using or selling them. But so the wallet would tell us his picture linked with the name. It would also tell us if we didn't find it here, it would tell us where he lived. So wallets, nice and useful. And now that is linked. So how before we had a name and then the photo thing, they automatically got merged for us, which is super nice. The old version that I played before did not do that. So that's useful. Let's see, we've got his work ID. So now we know where he works as an office manager. We might want to check his work associates to see, like, if we find fingerprints, maybe we can find their fingerprints to match. We've got another copy of his work ID. Okay, so now it wants us to look for more clues. It's giving us some useful tips about the phones. So when you're using telephones, I think every apartment has one. Just about. There's also some public payphones. Oof, that's a loud noise. But there are some automatic utility things. You can call the police, summon them to your location. You can also identify the number of this telephone, or you can identify the last person who called them by entering that. Oops. Okay, so now we know the last number that called them, and we can link that in. Okay, so the last call made to this address was at that time. What was that time? So it was definitely before he died, and it was from that number. So now we've got a number to track down. Okay, yep, we have to hang up. It won't let us move around until then. And the address book, people that this person, or the people who live at this address, know. So now we've got his address book that we can cross-reference. We've already got a number that we want to cross-reference. Come on, there we go. So do I know anyone with that number? Aha! So we know a Violet at 1202 Stubbs Deluxe is the person who called him. Okay, and it didn't auto-link these for us, but that number is associated with that address, and he knew someone named Violet from there. So now we know somebody he knows. We've got a lead. Let's see, other things it's telling us to do. Select and scan for prints. Okay, oh, shotgun. It's a Shackley shotgun. Now, we know he was shot with a small caliber, so this isn't the murder weapon. But maybe we can find prints. So if we know the person's print, like this would have said type B before we examined and took his fingerprints, now it automatically fills it in with the name because we know that this is Onni Jonsson's fingerprint, probably his shotgun. So he had a gun, but he ended up getting shot. And yep, type B belongs to Onni Jonsson. This would allow you to clip it to your board if you needed to, although this fingerprint doesn't tell us anything. His fingerprint in his house, not too useful. But it's telling us quite clearly, hey, scan this fingerprint over here. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's go into that room. Well, the safe is already open for us. Oh, we got a type C fingerprint. This is useful. Now we know somebody other than Onni Jonsson was not just at his apartment, but at his safe. And had their fingerprints all over it. Let's see, is inside the safe more of this suspicious type C? And we can definitely steal items from them. There's definitely a decision you have to make as to how much stealing you're willing to do. The game itself does not give you a lot of penalties for stealing. As long as you escape the place with the item, you've basically successfully stolen it. These upgrade vials are quite expensive, so it's the kind of thing that you would want to hold on to and save for later, maybe stash at your apartment or something until you have things you can upgrade. But I'm going to try to only steal from people I know are dead, or like public areas where it's the break room or something. It's not this guy's money. So that way I'm not stealing everything. I'm basically stealing, well, this guy doesn't need it anymore. So that I'm giving myself a little bit of a, I don't want to say handicap, but I'm not stealing everything when I'm trying to be a private investigator. Okay, so something that I find very useful is every house somewhere is going to have a file box. This is something it doesn't tell you, but this gives you a lot of good information about the people who live in that house, like the employment agreement. If we hadn't found the business card, this would tell us where he works. And then scrolling the mouse wheel up, we can look at the next file, opticians. This would tell us he wears glasses. And this would confirm that the person who lives in 802 Rose Building is Onni Jonsson. If I was just breaking into houses and I didn't know who lived there, this would confirm that this is somebody's address. And finally, you get the birth certificate for the person. So Onni Jonsson is male, 7.5 pounds. We must all be papier-mâché people, but then again, we've got the appearance to match. His blood type, the city he lives in, or at least that he was born in, and the date he was born. So that will fill out the profile. Yep, and I don't think that was actually number 1 out of however many. We've got a shoe print here. You can also use the fingerprint scanners on that. So heel size 9. Now, the game is, I think, progressive in the sense that, oh, this is heel size 5. That heel size 9 is actually maybe quite important, because we found that heel there. I was going to say that the male characters can wear heels and female characters wear boots and so forth, so you can't take the heels as a sign of female. But we have found an interesting footprint that is not our victim's. That's also in the room in front of the safe. Excellent. I don't think we need any more fingerprints. And let's see, other useful stuff. Oh, a diary? Oh, wow, I didn't know. This is new to me. Let's read his diary. So Monday would have been last night. This is supposed to help. The group leader said so. Don't know what I'm supposed to put down, but Kiara said it sounded like a good idea. So he knows a Kiara. And the diary is supposed to help. Everything sounds like a good idea when Kiara says it. Trying to cut down on starch. Not easy. 7 cans today. Thursday. Good day today. Went walking with Kiara down to the water. Even saw a bird. Felt like a normal nobody on a normal afternoon. Cans of starch, 5. Will do even better tomorrow. Friday. Violet called. Should have known it wouldn't be this easy. Meeting tomorrow. Cans of starch, 10. Tried to get out. Said I didn't want to do this anymore. That I was done. But Violet just laughed. Told me it was in my blood like the starch. Hope Kiara is safe. Shouldn't have told her anything. But they knew something was wrong and we said no secrets. Wish I'd kept my damn mouth shut. She won't pick up. Went to head over there, but Violet might be watching. Makes me sick. No choice. Got to. So maybe we've got a love triangle here? Not sure, but it looks like Kiara is someone who is helping him out, and this Violet person is trying to pull him back into whatever he's mixed up in. Wow, that diary I had not found before. Okay, another business card. It says he works at Goldborn as an office manager. And interesting, Goldborn Technologies is also located in 802 Rose Building. Oh, another thing to note, passcodes. Every character has a 4-digit passcode that they use for everything. Terrible passcode security, but very useful for us as a detective. So now we know Onni's passcode is 1428. We got a lot of information we're tracking now, but you can reorient stuff. Oh, well, I can't shift select as far as I know. Okay, but you can still rearrange things. So we've got a Violet and a Kiara, as well as this mysterious footprint and fingerprint that we found here. Okay, lots of useful information. I'll sort of put the interesting things about Onni sort of up top. His workplace, that's a lead. This is information about his death. So, sort of organized into these evidence trees. And Kiara, I guess I'll link by the diary. So we do not know who this Kiara person is right now. But we've got a first name, so maybe we could find them. If we hit dead ends, maybe that would help us. Oh, wow, I didn't expect to find this. Crumpled paper, don't forget who owns you. That's threatening. So we can inspect these pieces of paper as well. Let's see, nothing else in the drawer. Printed mail. Dear Mr. Jonsson, thanks for contacting us about a life insurance, but he is not eligible. So he was rejected for a life insurance policy that he tried to obtain. I suppose I should keep that as evidence. I'm not super strong that that'll be useful because he failed to get one, so it's not like he's doing an insurance scam. But still, useful information to know. Yeah, I got a lot more information than I was expecting out of this bedroom. Let's see. Oh, does he know a Kiara? Kiara. There's Violet, who is now very suspicious. Kiara. Okay, 402 Novak House. And we've got her number. There we go. Close that down. Now I can see those a little bit more easily. So now we know where Kiara lives, so we could track her down. She seems a bit more sympathetic. We could also try calling each of those numbers too. Let's see. Can I... Oh, dial. Alright, that brings it up. And then you can autofill from phone number. Let's try calling Violet. Maybe we can get some fresh information or something. Nope, she would have hung up by now. Oh, Violet here. Have you seen anything? Okay, not very talkative. Let's ask her name. Violet here, as if I'd tell you my name. Well, that's as much as we could get up. But we did confirm, at least, that that's her. So now, let's look for Kiara. Oh, that's weird. This is a leftover tag from the previous conversation. If they refuse, you can offer to pay them for the name. Well, I'm not sure how I would get it to her through the phone. Hang on, let's see if we can clear that and try again. No, went straight to that. Well, I don't know if that's a bug or what. Oh, the wages of rent. Okay, so it's giving us one more clue. Hammer drawer. Okay. One more clue. Oh, yep, there's a lot of little things that you can read about in here. A lot of these books actually have descriptions. Oh, right, you can search through the trash, which actually does make your character stink in-game, which can make you get detected. It's a cute little thing. So he was at Indigo Hair Kitchen. Let's see, January 2nd, last night. Okay, so he met somebody there last night. Uh-oh. Well, this is very suspicious that we are going to need to be stealthy and or fight. So you've got a stealth indicator in the middle of the screen. So if it's completely dark, then you're invisible. But like I showed you before, the red glowing thing fills up, and when it reaches full, whatever it is becomes hostile. So a camera would set off an alarm, or a person who lives there, or maybe a police officer would start attacking you. So I think it's telling us that we found everything, but we know that they were at the Indigo Hair Kitchen last night. Well, I'm not sure who they would be, but Onni definitely was. Okay. Uh-oh, there's a silent alarm. The police are outside, so you can either hide or try to escape. Oh, they got in fast. Let's escape through the vents. Ah, this receipt is from Indigo Hair Kitchen earlier this evening. So the vents are loud, but they're also cold, which can cause you severe status conditions if you stay in there too long. Let's see, this is a pre-generated city, so I think I know where this one comes out, and it's not outside. The vents are pretty much random and will take you to a completely random out exit, I guess. So where the heck are we? Let's hit tab, open up the map. So we are definitely not outside the building. We are on the 5th floor in somebody's bedroom. So we need to sneak out. Yeah, we dress on the floor. Okay. Let's see. So the lights appear to be off. Use the map, so I just need to go around the corner to the right here. Uh-oh, it's locked. I could bash my way out, but since we haven't raised an alarm yet, let's just lockpick our way out from here. So we need to escape the action. You'll notice that we've got those red glowing alerts in the corner. Okay. I don't know why that person is in red. We shouldn't have set any alarms. But all of... right, when we were in the building there, or in this apartment still, yeah, your active current crimes and your total amount of fines, if you get caught, are shown up in the top corner. So, yeah, the trespassing indicator shows me that someone's gonna be mad. And if that's not actively going, then you won't... Like, see, she's not currently actively angry at me. But they will notice you if you're doing illegal stuff as you walk by. So let's get all the way back down to the ground floor now. Hello again, person. Okay, so we have a couple of leads to go after. And I think this is a good spot to pause for the first video. And yeah, we'll start investigating those leads in the next episode. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.